So Manchester United have the opportunity of hiring Thomas Tuchel. I mean, they're 14th in the league. They have not won a game in the Europa League and have the chance, the opportunity to hire Thomas Tuchel, and they're apprehensive. They don't want to give him the job. And I think to myself, a man of that tactical acumen, his elite coaching style, can't find a home in Manchester United, and that does not make sense to me. I get the detractors. I mean, in terms of the negatives, is this talent ID? I mean, it goes against what the fans perceive, and he has made big, bold decisions which have not necessarily worked in his favour. If you look at his last job in Bayern Munich, there was De Ligt. He got rid of him and played Eric Dyer there, which is a decision that baffles a lot of minds. They still finished second. They came to the semi-finals of the Champions League, which they played very well, and they were very, very close, knocking out Real Madrid, and how many teams have said that in the past. And then at Chelsea, his parting gift were Lukaku and Sterling, his marquee, big money, franchise player wages, and the less said the better. So I get that. But considering that your transfer window is done and you cannot make an impact in that negative aspect until January, he can coach the team. And for now, it can't get worse for Manchester United. I do not understand the apprehension of getting a manager who likes to play a back three. It makes you solid. I mean, if you ask a United fan, would you like a back three of Lisandro Martinez, De Ligt, and Lenny Yoro? And then you have two wing backs. Automatically your team looks a lot more solid, and he's got a keeper that is perfect for Tuchel. Likes to play out the back, concedes very little shots, and that is a benefit for Andre Onana because he's not an elite shot stopper, but he can play out the back. In the current system, all you see him is booting it along to either touchline, hitting either fullback. That will be immediately eradicated under Thomas Tuchel. And that works. So what if your right wing back is going to be Garnacho? How does it matter? Does your team look a lot more solid at the back, and while going forward, can you score goals? And Tuchel will answer both those questions. You don't have to win every game 2, 3, 4-0. You can barely score goals right now. So you need to find the next step in progression, and that's Tuchel. Tuchel gets very little credit in terms of what he did at Chelsea. I mean, when he came in replacing Lampard to the Champions League final victory, that period, Chelsea were the best coach team in Europe. And the track record proves it. Beat every team. Pep had no idea. He beat Cholo. He beat Klopp at Anfield. He was the last Chelsea manager to do so. It was looking perfect at Chelsea. Yes, and then the transfer window happens, and then it takes a downward turn. But Chelsea effectively won the Champions League with the front three of Kai Havertz, Timo Werner and Mason Mount. Look at where they play, how they play, if they play. As Jose Mourinho's famous quote, Kai Havertz is the only one who's fulfilling his potential at Arsenal, although I'm not rooting for him to do so. But look at Timo Werner, Mason Mount. Again, less said the better. So for Manchester United, why are they keeping Ten Hag? Like, it blows the mind, it baffles the brain. And the only thing is they are not willing to take the sunk cost. They know they've spent a lot of money on his players. But his players are not bad players. Let's make it very clear. I mean, yes, it has a bit of bias and prejudice in the way he recruits, but they're not individually bad players. Back three is an issue that Manchester United are not very keen about. I think it's a golden opportunity to face two of the big problems, that is Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. There's no question about it. They've been here the longest. Everything you see in an attacking force which is wrong with it, it stems from these two because they're always present. They always play. If you think your strikers are not getting enough chances and these two players play pretty much 90 minutes week in, week out, they are the problem. It's as simple as that. And if Tuchel plays a 3-4-3, there's no space for either two players, and I think that would be a blessing in disguise for United. If he plays a front three of Rasmus Højlund, Ahmad and Xerxes, the three new players that Man United have built their trust on, and a midfield of Ugarte and Kobbie Mainoo, and a back three of Lissandro, De Ligt and Lenny Yoro once he comes back from injury, suddenly the team looks like it can keep the ball, they can play out the back problem, because Manchester United cannot play out the back. They just can't. It's not that they don't have the players, they definitely do, but they're not coached. It just isn't. It's as simple as that. There's plenty of evidence. It's almost played in panic. There's never really that control element. Can they move the ball from side to side? Sure, but you want more and it's just not there. And they have an opportunity to get Tuchel and coach these players. Manchester United cannot be thinking 3 years down the line now with their next appointment. They have to get these players they've spent a lot of money on to get them playing. And how do you get them playing? By getting the elite coach that's available on the market. And that's Thomas Tuchel.